Hey guys, it's Camille from Stylish Living. I'm coming at you guys with my tips and tricks to getting a great fall haul for back to school. If that's something you're interested in, then stay tuned. Okay, you guys, so I've been thinking a lot about back to school, and I've been thinking a lot about, okay, what kind of fashions, what kind of things do I want to buy to wear back to school? I'm on my way back to uni for my MBA to work on that, and I'm also on my way back, career-wise as a teacher to teach in my elementary school, and so I need some back to school fashions for that as well. So I wanted to share with you guys just really quick my tips and tricks to how I get a great back to school fall haul. The first thing I like to do is I go through my closet and I purge. I purge some of the fall clothing that I know for sure that I bought it, I didn't really like it didn't really get any wear. I purge those out and I either donate those, sell those, whatever I can do with those. And then I purge some of the items that I thought, wow, I really like this is great, but then I realized last fall I didn't wear them at all. And perhaps there was a reason why I didn't wear them. Perhaps something happened to a strap and I needed it fixed. Perhaps I didn't have the right shoe, I didn't have the right shirt. So then what I do is I take those and I put those to the side. And then I ask myself, do we want to try to work on these pieces of clothing again, or shoes, or whatever? Are we going to find something when we go shopping to make these items work so that I can wear them? So once I decide that, and hopefully a lot of times I do decide to just go ahead and purchase whatever was missing to help that outfit work, I go ahead and put it on my list. And so if I didn't have the right shirt to go with some pants that I bought, then I decide to keep the pants a lot of the time, and then I put buy a shirt, buy this specific shirt, whatever. I go on Pinterest, I go out there on a website, online, or whatever, and find what I need, and I put it on my list for shopping. So I do a purge, and I also figure out what pieces I'm going to continue to wear for the fall and which ones need a little help, another item to make them work out even better. So I think that's a good kind of start to a fall haul, because you do want to have a plan. You want to have a plan of attack for your wardrobe, for your closet, and make sure that you're buying pieces that are going to work together with what you already have and make everything just look a little bit more cohesive. Okay, so after the purge, after figuring all those things out and starting my list of, mismatch items that need to go with items, I then think about the classics and the trends that are out there. And then I go online and kind of look, because I know that if I'm in the mood to buy some classic pieces like a cashmere sweater, or maybe I just need a white button-down shirt to go with some of my outfits, I know that those pieces transcend time and that they're classics and they're worth investing a lot of money into. And so I didn't have to ask myself, can I afford to buy some classics this particular fall season? And if so, I put those classics on the list, and I keep in mind that they're going to cost me a little extra, because I'm willing to drop more money on it, because I'm going to wear it season after season after season. And so that's important to figure out your classics. The other thing you want to consider is the trends. I mean, I like to try out the trends. I don't want to just be classics all the time. I want to have fun. And so when I consider the trends, I'm going to spend a little less on those items. I'm going to spend a little, sometimes less than mid-range on those items, maybe $30, something like that on a trend, because I know, it's in today, it's in this season, and then it's out the next season. And I don't feel bad about, needing to donate it when I'm done with it, or being able to hopefully sell it back. Sometimes you can do that even with mid-range items. So I consider those items, and then whatever trends that I think I'm interested in and I want to try out, I add those to the list. Another thing that I consider as well with my list is I consider the money that I'm going to spend. Am I still comfortable with it? Sometimes I might sacrifice some of the trendy pieces because I'm going to spend a little bit more on the classics, and I might be in the mood for just some classic pieces anyway. I also ask myself a few questions. The first question that I ask myself is it best for you to buy these things right now? that's something that I just always like to think about. I know that there are things that I want, there are things that I need, but is it best for me to buy them right now? So once I consider that, I look at my list, and if I need to scratch something out, I scratch it out. But I need to feel comfortable with the list that I put together. I need to feel comfortable with the budget that I have. And, you know, there's just no other way to go out there and shop if you're not comfortable and if you don't have a proper plan. I know when I go out and I have no plan, I end up with a lot of items that I don't have a top to it, I don't have a bottom to it, but I really wanted it. And you really got to think about the things that you want. You got to think, is it best for me to have it right now? Is it worth it for me having the top and knowing that one day I'll find the bottom? Will I actually find the bottom to go to it? You know, and you got to ask yourself those questions. I know I have a small closet, and so I don't like to have it packed with a lot of items I'm not wearing. I also ask my question. I also like to ask the question, am I going to get cost per wear? So what I tell myself is, if I really want an item and I want to buy it, do I have at least 3 outfits that I can wear that item with, whether it be shoes or a purse, etc.? Do I have at least 3? Because I need to wear that item and use that item at least 3 times a month. And so I need to make sure that I have items in my wardrobe that I can build around it. Now, if you can afford to buy that one item and then buy items to go around it, like clothing, then, you know, hey, do you. Do it. But for me, I want to make sure that in my closet currently, I have at least 3 outfits that I can build around that item. And then I feel comfortable, like, you know what, I'm really going to get some wear out of this, because a lot of my want items end up being a lot of classic items I spend pretty good money on. And so I definitely want to make sure that I'm getting use out of it. Another question that I ask myself as well is, do I have room in my closet for all of this? I have a small closet. Those of you that live in places like New York, you know the struggle. It's real. Small closets. Some things that I like to do is just kind of like take one season of my wardrobe out. Like I'll take the summer season out of my wardrobe, and I'll just go ahead and store that somewhere else so that I save the closet space to bring up my fall items and display those. Another good reason to separate your clothes out like that is you can see what you need to work with. A lot of times when you have that summer mixed in, yeah, you can build a lot of outfits from some of your summer clothes when you put blazers on or you put jackets on, etc. And that's good to consider those items and keep those in your closet. But some of those you're just like, I'm flat out not gonna wear that in the fall. They just need to be like out of your view. And I know for me, I don't need to see those items. Sometimes I'll even put them in a garment bag, zip it up, so I'm not even viewing those items, that I am concentrating on what do I have in my fall wardrobe? What can I make work for me? It just helps me to get organized a little bit better when I see less choices, you know, especially when they're really not a choice because they're from last season. So small closets, let me tell you, we got it made because of that transition from fall, you know, to summer, spring, etc. We're removing clothes and bringing clothes back up and replacing. It's actually a good thing because you're narrowing your view and you're able to see, what do I really have to wear this season? So, you know, something to consider. These are the tips and tricks that I like to use. Once I get my list together, then I'm off shopping. I know the budget that I have. I know what items I'm looking for. And I always make sure that, you know, I'm not rigid in this whole thing. You never want to be rigid. You want to be flexible. And so you're going to get out there and shop and you're going to see something that you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even consider that. And that's going to go with like 5 outfits I already have. You may need to switch things up, change your list. Don't be afraid of that. Flexibility is good. You want to flow like water. You want to bend. You do not want to be rigid, girl. If you're rigid, you'll break, and you don't want that. And so it's just good to be flexible. Take your list with you. You don't have to be married to the list. You can stray from the list. but have a plan. I always feel better when I have a plan, because when I bring my things home, I know that, wow, if I stuck closely to the plan, then I know a lot of the items that I have are going to fit perfectly with my wardrobe, fit perfectly with my idea of how I want to look this fall. So you guys, I hope this helped you. I hope you will use these tips and tricks as you go out to buy your back to school fashions. I am so looking forward to starting school soon. I started next week, and that's back at uni. I'm already back at work, back to school at the elementary teaching. But it's just wonderful just to share with you guys tips and tricks. If you guys have anything to share with me, go ahead and comment down below. I would love to hear your ideas on how you prepare yourself for your back to school fall hauls. Thank you so much for listening. I enjoyed this talk. It's short and sweet, and I hope you all enjoyed it too. If you like talks like this, if you like videos like this, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and hey, you know what? There's a notification bell also when you subscribe. Make sure you hit that so you can always know when I put a new video up. I try to do one once a week, and so far so good. See you guys next time. Bye.